Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about how to really change from one reality that you're in right now to a different one. I'm not talking parallel universes. I'm talking about variations in reality that you can switch to at any given time based on your thoughts, your words, your reactions, and your actions. Let's say this is you right now. You're walking along this line right here. You have a specific vibration that is keeping you on this lifeline. Now, let's say there's another lifeline up here. And this one, ooh, it's got a bunch of money on it. Maybe it's got a new house, the house that you really, really like. Oh, very good. There's another lifeline down here. This one, you're living in a cardboard box and you're actually sick and injured. That doesn't sound that good. And maybe up here you've got your own personal jet. Ooh, that's fun. And you're going on holidays. I don't know how to draw that. We'll just say holiday. Up here, you're taking holidays and you like that stuff. But these are all different lifeline frequencies. Each lifeline holds a different frequency. Kind of like tuning into a radio or tuning into, you know old TVs, we had the bunny ears and you could move them around and you'd like catch a different frequency and you're like, oh, and then you can see the picture. Well, these are all like picture slides running through around us at all times. And depending on where you put your little bunny ear antenna, you could pick up on those things and tune into that and take your little guy and jump onto a different lifeline. Ooh, now we're up here. That's fun. Hooray! And you're probably wondering, well, how do you do that? Well, like I said before, your words, your actions, your thoughts, your reactions all make a difference. They all matter. So if you are reacting negatively to things that happen, it bumps you down. Boop, 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 boop. You go down. Because when something perceived bad happens and you get angry about it, you're like, oh, I'm so angry. Then the universe sends you to a place where things align to give you more things to be angry about. So let's say something bad happens and you react to it really, really loudly. And you get mad, you get angry, you yell about it, and it kind of bumps you down a little bit. But then you go and you talk to a friend about it and you air all your grievances to them. You're like, this happened, blah, 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 blah. More angry words talking about the event that happens. This takes you down a bit more. And then that friend talks to another friend and tells them about your bad experiences. And then you're like, oh yeah. And then you chime in again and you're talking about it. And next thing you know, you've got a whole circle of people talking about your negative thing. And you just keep bitching about everything to everyone. And you just keep going down and down and down. Next thing you know, you stub your foot, you fall down, you hurt your knee. You catch a cold and now you're sick. You're sick, sore, and you can't work. And the next thing you know, you're living in a box. That's a stretch. But that's the idea. Your words create a vibration. Your emotions amplify that vibration of your words and send it off into the universe. You always get what you want. And what you want is accepted by the universe by your actions, words, and thoughts and emotions. So if you're raving about terrible things, like, like getting in a car accident. Yeah, some guy rear-ended me, blah, blah, blah. And like, you're sharing that with your friends and you're talking on the phone and you're just sharing bad news all over the place. The universe thinks, oh, they like this. This is all they talk about. Oh, they like that. Let's give them more of that. And they're like, yeah. Send them over here. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Bop, bop, bop. That's what you get. So if you don't like that, stop talking about it so much. Stop feeding it your emotions. Stop amplifying it to your friends and family and neighbors. When something good happens, recognize it and acknowledge it. Acknowledge the good things. When you acknowledge the good things, you put your attention to good things. And when your attention goes to good things, it changes your vibration, and that's what you see more. You start to see it more because when you're paying attention to those things, that's what you think about, that's what you talk about, then the universe, the all says, oh, that's what you like. That's what you want more of? You got it. Send them on up. Send them on up. Let's go to a different lifeline where you get more things that make you happy. Oh, because you like happy. You acknowledge happy. You acknowledge good things. Oh, you like money? Oh, yes. You like money. You like giving money. You like receiving money. Everything about money is good. Okay, perfect. But if you fear money, or you're scared, or you don't like giving it, you don't like spending it, then they think you don't like it at all. So then you stop getting it. It's important to be a good giver and a good receiver of all things that you like. You know, you can't just be on the receiving end of things. There's no such thing as something for nothing. And you can't just always be on the giving end, because if you're a bad receiver, that's not good either. I've met a lot of people that are just so good at giving, but you try to give them something back and they're like, oh, no, I couldn't, no. You just take it. And they just want to give. As wonderful as that seems, you got to be a good receiver too, because the universe wants to give you everything that you want. And you'll always have more to give if you're always willing to receive. Be it love or money, whatever it is, you know? Both are great. So to jump lifelines is kind of messy, but to jump lifelines, it is acknowledging the things that you want, sharing the things that you want, speaking of the things that you want, and be careful when it comes to who you speak to about things. Because gossip is one of the worst things in the whole world. Because when you put minds together on the same topic, on the same subject, it amplifies it. You know that old saying, 2 minds is greater than 1? It's not just talking about, oh, you'll get more ideas, yay. It's talking about how when 2 minds come together on a common goal, or a common, common goal. When 2 minds come together on a purpose, it amplifies that and makes it come to fruition faster. Like crazy fast. So if you're getting together with your friends and you're just having these big old bitch fests, and you think, oh, that's a good time, we love getting together and just bitching about all these things, and then you wonder why you get more of that into your life, like really quickly, like drama. Ew. I can't handle that stuff. I really don't like gossiping. When I realized how much I was doing a long time, I was like, what am I doing? Why am I talking about other people? I don't give a shit about what they're doing. I've got my own things to work on. Yeah, work on your own things. If you want to say something nice about somebody else, cool, yeah, do that. But if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I like that old saying. That's a good old saying. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all, because your words hold power. Now, the other thing is your thoughts behind the words and behind the actions. Because you can do and say one thing, but if your thoughts behind it are not good, like if you're having some like devious thoughts or nefarious thoughts, or just like tremendously selfish thoughts, or like if you're trying to do something that seems good, but it's really not on the end of it, the universe knows. That underlying thought matters. You have to come from a place of genuine love in everything that you do. If you're, and like, just like we talked about on the other video, faith versus fear, if you're operating from a place of fear, you will get what you fear. If you're operating from a place of love, you will get the things that you love. Doing something for someone else out of fear of being reprimanded, or fear of being punished or something like that, that's not great. You know, doing things out of fear. But if you, oh, and the other thing, doing things begrudgingly, if you're taking care of a loved one and you think you're doing a really good deed, but in the meantime, all you do is complain to your friends and your family about how hard and annoying it is that you have to do those things, the good deed, you just blew it up. Congratulations. If you're gonna do something nice for somebody, just do it. Doing things begrudgingly ruins the deed. It craps on the deed. The deed's no more. You're actually doing a disservice because you're complaining the whole time. It's one of those things. I love my husband. He does so much for us. I don't expect him to get in the kitchen and wash my dishes or wash his dishes or anything like that unless I'm like sick, because I'm like, I'm a pro. I'm really good. I cook, I clean, and a lot of you might be thinking, you know, that's kind of sexist. No, it's not. He fixes my car. He trims the trees. He builds shops. He's a badass. So I got this. But when he gets in the kitchen and he starts doing something and he's not having a good time doing it, and he starts bitching about it, I'm like, no, 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 no. No bitching in my kitchen. Come on. Like, I appreciate when you help, but if you're going to go in there and act like you're helping, but you're going to complain the whole time, I'd rather just do it myself. I don't want it. It's not a nice deed when you complain the whole time. And that's what I'm getting at. So, like, if you're going to do a nice thing for somebody, just do it with a smile, or just do it, period. But don't do it and complain the whole time, because it ruins the deed. So, anyway, changing lifelines can be done like so many times throughout the day. You can just like flipping through a deck of cards, you can change your lifeline throughout the day. Some people get stuck on one and just stays on one for a really long time, but if you really want to make some changes, start noticing your thoughts. Really pay attention to your thoughts, and really pay attention to your words. What are you saying? Because we're all guilty of getting onto autopilot and just drifting through our days. And we get into the habit of getting on the phone. Oh, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Oh, I'm fine. Oh, so-and-so blah, blah, blah said this. Oh my gosh, yeah, I know what that's like. And then you bring up an event to match your friends, because we all want to resonate with somebody. So we always bring up stories that match our friends' shitty stories, and then you vibe on your shitty stories together. It's like bad habit. So share good news, share kind things. It's, if you're asking for help, like if something genuinely bad is happening, you're asking for help, that's different. Ask for help, get help, share events in the way that you're asking for help. But if you're just getting on the horn and talking to people and just complaining about traffic and complaining about the weather and complaining about your bowels and complaining about your neighbor and complaining about the dog that keeps crapping on your lawn, it's like, congratulations. You're going to shift to another lifeline that has more lawn crap. And then you're going to shift to another lifeline that has worse traffic. And then you're going to shift to another lifeline that's just like even worse. It's just going to keep going down and down. Every time you decide, oh, I'm going to bitch about that, you go down. Oh, I'm going to bitch about this, you're going to get more of that. Whatever you complain about, you get more of. Whatever you find annoying and express that annoyance, you get more of. So beware of the lifelines that you can switch to, because if you want to be on a good lifeline, notice the things that you like, express the things that you like, talk about the things that you like, share the things that you like, give other people some of the things that you like. That is truly how to amplify yourself up to the lifelines that you really like. You know, again, lifelines. You can switch from one to the other, like going up a little set of stairs, you know? And up here, you got your love, you got your money, you got your house, everything's cool, yay! And you're walking, your little dude walking up the stairs, you're so happy. But every time you acknowledge, you know, each step can be, you know, giving love. Sharing food. Good deed. Yeah, good deed. You know, give somebody a big tip. They did a dang good job. Give them a nice big tip. But all of these things shift your lifeline onto somebody that gives and gets a lot of love, that gives and gets a lot of tasty food, that gives and gets a lot of good deeds, you know? You get what you give. But it's also the shifting of lifelines. Every time you do something good, it takes you to a different lifeline where you're like, okay, You want to do good things? We'll give you more opportunities to do good things, and more opportunities will come to you as well. It's fun. Just see throughout the day, going with the flow of things. See how many new things that you could do or say that is different from what you used to say and do. And every time you catch yourself doing something or saying something or thinking something that is like the old version of you, that you're like, oh, no, I don't like that. Even if you're passing somebody on the street and maybe you think a judgmental thought, because who hasn't done that? Change it in that moment. You're like, oh, no, I'm not going to judge them. Look at that person and find something that you can like about them, that you can appreciate about them. Anything at all. Throw them a compliment. Try that throughout your day. Just anytime and especially if you're doing it to yourself, if you're judging yourself, thinking something bad about yourself or your work, or, for me, I always criticize my artwork before it's done. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's not good. Oh, who would like that? Oh, nobody's going to like this. It's like, I'm working very hard on changing that to just being curious of what I can create without judgment along the way. Stop judging yourself. Give yourself more compliments. Give yourself more props and see what happens. Because that also affects you on your lifelines to become the person you want to be. Because here's the thing. You can be anybody that you want to be. You are under no obligation to be the same person you were yesterday, a year ago, 5 minutes ago. And I know it's hard to change and grow when you're surrounded by the same people, because they look at you and they see whatever they just see whatever they've seen of you. They just lay over the lens of the past you. So sometimes it's good to get away for a while if you want to do some personal growth. If you want to switch some lifelines, it's okay to separate yourself from the same people you've been around with the same conversations, the same routines. It's okay to just check out of that for a while and go someplace else and do something different. Because if you want a different life, if you don't like where you are, shake things up. Maybe look for some people that are also on a path to shaking things up, changing things. Maybe do it alone for a little while. It's okay. You don't have to completely cut people out of your life to make changes, but you can. You don't have to stick to the same people and the same routines day in and day out. You don't have to. You can grow and you can change. And you'll notice that when you do start to change, other people, it will feel like they're trying to drag you back to the old you. That will happen. They will try to drag you back to the old lifelines, because if you start to leave a lifeline where somebody else is vibing on, they're like, this is where I am down here, and you start to take a walk up here, they're going to be like, whoa, 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 no. Don't you remember? You hate traffic. You think people are jerks and they dress sloppy and walk down the street, and you think people that go to the store in their sweatpants are sloppy, and no, get back down here and come bitch with me. And you're going to be like, no, I don't care. People have the right to do whatever they want. Everybody is beautiful. Everybody is God. Everybody is pure spirit. I love everybody. And you get to go up here. You get to go up here. You don't have to go down here and bitch. You get to go up here and live with whatever you want. and decide, what you want. Because again, the lifelines that you can hop to, you have to decide what's on them that you want. And you will be given opportunities to make the shift to get to those lifelines. And it's kind of like walking up some stairs. You'll make small shifts. It's not always one big quantum leap, because emotionally and spiritually, you're going to make changes along the way. It's kind of like when people talk about people that win the lottery and they go from being, average or even poor to being extremely wealthy, but they haven't made the energetic shifts that match that lifeline. It kind of happened so suddenly, and more often than not, they lose all their money, they lose their house, they lose everything, and they just go right back to where they were, because energetically, that's where they resonate. So it's making those energetic shifts that aligns you with those frequencies of those lifelines that makes sense. It matches. Does that make sense? Making those energetic shifts to align with the frequency of those lifelines that has what you want. And always the first step, and I'll repeat this till the cows come home, you have to know what you want. You have to define what you want. You have to be clear on what you want. Create a vision of what you want. It can start out with just words written on a page. That's how I did it. I just took a journal and just wrote down like a little story of what I want. I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and this. But I didn't write it down as I want. I wrote it down like a story. Like, I have, a big garden. I have 4 greenhouses. I have a house with blah, 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 2 kitchens. I have, always in the present now, but define what you want. Then you can slowly build it into a picture in your mind. Then you can slowly start to evolve it and grow it. You can even use AI these days to generate images so that you can put those images on the wall and you can see it. So you can start to really develop that 3D image in your mind. Because when you develop a 3D image in your mind, that's where things create from. That's where you create from, is your imagination. If you can imagine it, you can create it. And that will appear on the lifelines of the things that you imagine. That's where everything comes from, your imagination. That's where all these lifelines come from. And you're probably thinking, well, is it all just me? It's like, well, no, there are layers. And the layers in your life come from the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with. So that's why I'm saying it's important to surround yourself with people that align with where you want to go rather than where you're coming from. Because the people that you spend the most time with will try to keep you on the same lifeline that you were on before. So that's where they are. But if you want to change and grow, it's okay to be alone for a little bits of time here and there, or B, find people that are achieving what you want to achieve, that already have what you want to have, that are already doing what you want to do. Find a mentor that knows how to do the thing you want to learn, Like, if you want to learn guitar, you're not going to go hang out with a bunch of pianists. You're not going to hang out with a bunch of drummers. You're going to go hang out with a bunch of guitarists, and you're going to learn from them. The same thing is true with life, If you want to accomplish other things and do other things in life and achieve different things, find people that have done it and ask them how they've done it. Find people that are doing it and follow their lead. That's how you learn. That's how you do. And that's how you change your vibration. Doing, thinking, feeling, speaking, all the things that you want. And it all comes down to knowing what you want. So if you want to shift lifelines, that's how you do it. Your frequencies aligns with different lifelines, like tuning into a TV with the bunny ears, different channels. You'll see different images. And you can flick from one to another, back down throughout the day. And, you can never get too worried about if you notice that you're living on a shitty lifeline and you keep stubbing your toe, you keep bonking your elbow. Some idiot hates your car in the parking lot with the door. Shit keeps happening. You're like, shit keeps happening. But you keep verbalizing it and you keep reiterating it back out. And you're like, and then you tell everybody about this. You know how we talked about this before? Careful what you share. Even if 10 bad things happen in a day, find the one awesome thing that did happen. Share that. Write it down in your journal. Give yourself a high five about it. Tell your friend. Don't tell them about the 10 terrible things. Tell them about the one awesome thing. Do that over and over and over every single day. Don't look at the 8 things that you didn't do great. Look at the one thing that you did good. Remind yourself of that every night before bed. Find one great thing that you did. Remind yourself of it before you go to sleep. Remind yourself of where you're going and what you're working towards every single morning and every single night. Stop bitching. Start living what you want. Leave the past behind you. Forgive, forget, move on, decide. You can get in a state of woe is me and everything is hard and I never get what I want, blah, 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 blah. But that will just perpetuate you lower and lower and lower onto different lifelines that will keep giving you more of that. So if you don't want more of that, focus on the things that you like, Focus on the things that you want. Give the things that you want to get. And this will propel you to fantastic lifelines that will blow your mind. And I'll see you on the next video.